Well, the crux of the matter is relying on one thing is pretty scary in a sense if you use open source, which I'm living with for long time. So sometime it happens if some weird reason, if the program you are dependent on started to malfunctioning or misbehaving, in spite of your best effort, you couldn't fix it for the time being. Ultimately you will get help because somebody else probably out there in the wild, they might have encountered the same trouble and they took the pain to describe it to the other people, so you can take a cue out of it. There are plenty of sites on the internet is there, although it's very dangerous to writing on somebody else's understanding because they will be doing it from their perspective, so it will be quite different than you. But you can take a cue out of it if you are desperate enough. So the point I'm here making that depending on one single thing for an important purpose will be really scary. So you have to have something to fall back on. If not similar, it has to be almost close to similar, so you can get majority of the work you do on that specific software with that specific software could be done via other thing. The beauty of using open source is that there are plenty of duplicated work in a variant way, and it's been a trend for a long time, so nothing new. So in this context, I'm specifically telling, I generally write my blogs inside Emacs. There is a wonderful package called Org2wp which makes things very seamless, very easy. Okay, so I've been writing all my blog inside Emacs, but few months back I have bumped onto something which allow me to do the same thing from the command line. Okay, so you mean to say I do not have to do anything with the editor. I can do the simplest possible thing by posting my blog from the command line itself, right, with the help of a script. To start with the demonstration, let me show you. Let me spawn up a terminal. And I wrote a simple script yesterday evening, and I thought it would be good to share with people. So let me move it to a designated place. Let us zoom in so people can see. So the first thing you have to create, this is basically posting org file in WordPress blog. What I do through Emacs. Okay, if now this interface will be working right from the command line, so I do not have to get into Emacs to get my post posted in WordPress. Okay, so the thing is, so let me create v is a alias to vim task.org. This is just an org file I'm just trying to write. Okay, so this is an empty file. I have a snippet which I have already created for other purpose also, so I can insert the snippet in a normal mode by pressing leader K. This is a org file syntax. You can see few of the templating stuff has been included. This is a demonstration of posting WordPress blog from command line. Okay, so and I have another macro which has to be expand. If I do DTS, which basically expand to the time, see, I press space and it is expanded in time. I have shown this kind of stuff many times in my backlog videos. You can go back to the channel and have a look. Anyway, so this is a wall of text, which should be the body of the post, blah blah blah. Okay, so if I select this, copy it, then paste it 10 more times, it has become like this. Okay, so this is basically an org file. You can use other org mechanism, in a sense, other syntactical stuff you want to include. Basically this file has to be a org file. Okay, so now if I save this, I have saved this file. So how I am going to post it, the script I have, which by default posts the this blog to WordPress as a draft. Okay, there is a mechanism to post directly to the WordPress site, which I'm referring to, but I'll show you how you could do that. Here I'm showing you the how to post it as a draft. Okay, so my script are very explicit. As I said, publish, see, publish blog to WordPress. This is the name of my script. Okay, so this is basically a wrapper script which I am wrapping around the original script, which I will show you and explain you explicitly little bit later. Till that moment, hang on. So you can see, so if I say publish blog to WordPress, this is the script name I have. As I mentioned, I wrote it yesterday evening. So, and if I give task.org as an argument to the post, if I press enter, it will go ahead and post it as a draft. Okay, so if I press enter, so you can see it's saying posting as draft. Okay, just give it a little bit of time. Okay, so move it to a different place so you can see it, how things happening. So it is finally coming. See, because I haven't given any title to the post, this post has come, as you can see, this is showing as a draft. Now I can change it and post it. Okay, so this is very easy. You followed it, right? I posted it directly from the command line, so I don't have to use any editor, although you can do that inside editors, right? But this script allow you to post your blog to WordPress from the command line itself. So if I click here, WordPress site is pretty bulky, so it takes time to load. It's taking a lot of time, right? See, this is how it looks. Okay, so basically so I'm not going to use it, so I move it to trash, and I'm going to delete it for okay. So you get the idea, right? So now let me show you, so let me show you the syntax. Publish blog to WordPress, that is the script I wrote, and I have to give a org file as an argument, and it will go ahead and post the blog as a draft in the WordPress site. Cool? Okay, so let me show you the script. So here is the script, and this is pretty darn simple one. Okay, so as you can see, I have a variable called post file, which is essentially take the argument, first argument. Then I create a abort, or you can name it whatever you like, to basically to stop the program to execute if you do not pass the minimum argument, which is the org file you have to pass. Okay, otherwise it will show the help and exit. Okay, this is the first function. Now the second function is, as you can see, draft, which is the default action of this script, and it is checking out the first argument. If it has got a one single argument, which presumably the org file, then it will simply go ahead and post the file, which is what I shown to you. Simply passing the argument as an org file to that script will post the blog as a draft. Okay, now then the last is the publish. As I mentioned to you, you can directly publish the blog if you pass the parameter called publish. As you can see, it is here. This is called publish. Okay, so there is a flag called publish, which, and if you pass the org file, it will directly publish your blog to the WordPress site. Okay, so you don't have to go through the draft, but I always post my blog as a draft, and I check if I need something else to cross check and fix, and then only publish. So both the things you can do: public post as draft and publish directly. The last function is the main function, which is basically calling up the all other subroutines inside it. Okay, and last bit is the argument to the script, is the main argument itself. Okay, so it's pretty darn simple. Okay, so now now how I so here is the actual script which I have stumbled upon few months back. So this is a Perl script. Okay, so if I open this, so this is the Perl script. You can clearly see its best name Org2wp. That means org to WordPress, publish org document or headline to WordPress as a blog post. Okay, So there are n number of flags, which most of them I don't care and don't use, but it is there for a reason. If you are curious enough, you can inspect those and use this. I have trimmed down to my requirement, so I generally do not concerned about other flags too. So this is, as you can see, here is a clear mention of Org2 blog, which is the package I use inside Emacs to post my blog from Emacs to WordPress. Okay, so this is the thing the author has drawn out of his or her inspiration from. And as you can see, I have a file like that, org2wp.conf. This is a plain text file where you have to provide this XML rpc.php, which is required by the WordPress site, the full path. Okay, and your username to the WordPress and the password to the WordPress. These three things has to be there, otherwise it will simple. It is a mechanism to allow you to post stuff in the WordPress blog. I have this kind of file in my system, so it didn't ask me for the password or username. Okay, if you want to use proxy, you can add it also that. So now there are several flag discussed. Here is the simple thing. What I showed through my wrapper script. It takes an org file as an argument, and it will create a draft post. To publish directly, as I mentioned to you and show you, that you need to pass the publish flag with the to the script along with the org file. Okay, so once it is done, like a standard procedure, the file gets this metadata included in the file, which I'll show you in a moment. And you can do other stuff. As I mentioned, there are other important thing. You say, if you write a blog and if you wanted to post it on some other future date, not immediately, maybe tomorrow, maybe day after tomorrow, maybe after 7 days, you can schedule it with this specific timestamp. Okay, year and timestamp, and it will schedule the posting on WordPress, and it will post on that specific date and time. Super useful if you decided to post something targeted to some date or time for specific audience, right? So basically there is a schedule flag which takes this time format, date and time format, because that's what WordPress understand. Notice the T in between the year, date and month and time. Okay, so this is what, and you can post multiple posts at once. If you, as I say, it's supposed to have an org file as an argument. So if you have a multiple heading inside a org file, so all the heading becomes different post, and you can see what level of heading a post should take by -l. Okay, the label has to be defined, level 1, level 2, like this. So it is clearly, I highly encourage you to go through this page. What I'll do, I'll give the link to this particular page in the description section below, so you can have a look and read through it to understand all the stuff. Okay, and what else? There are all the flags has been explained clearly, and it is not too long. If it is very much important to you, you spend time on it. I did, certainly, and it is wonderful. So please give back the credit to this person, Perl, Okay, but so this is the email ID. If you want to give the credit, give it to him or her for the work he or she has done. Okay, so this is what I'll give the link of this particular page to the description section below, so you can have a look and use it. It's super useful and very handy. Let me. Okay, so this is basically a wrapper script to the original script. Okay, and as I said, org2wp.conf. See, this is the URL for my blogs post. I have in this file like this, username to org2wp.conf, like this, and I have another entry which is my password to the WordPress site, which is inducted in the same file, so it will not ask for the authentication once you have that file. So this is let me show you. This is a Perl script. So this is the script which basically it has got n number of dependency of Perl module. If you encounter, it's a heads up, if you encounter an error related to Perl module, then you have to get into a Perl shell, which is shorthand called cpan. I'll show you in a moment, and install those missing module to work this script work properly. Although most of the modules are basically taken care of, if something is in my case, in some of my distribution it was missing, so I have to get those manually from cpan or Perl shell to get this script to work properly with WordPress. Okay, so this is a Perl script and very well written, not too complicated, and clearly explained all this stuff, so you can have a look at it in your leisure time, so you'll get a clear idea of what this script actually doing behind the scene. Okay, so let me show you. So what I mean by cpan, it's a Perl shell. If you write cpan, it will drop you to here. This is a Perl shell. If any of the Perl module, the script complain, you have to install it from here. Okay, and if it like install some module, some base, this is generally the syntactical way of, or more stuff, something. This is how the structure is. You have to get the module and install it by this way. Okay, so it can induct the module in the Perl path, so the Perl interpreter can find out while using that script if the module is missing from your system. Then only you have to take this route to install those specific missing. There is a place which start with @inc, which shows you the module path where Perl interpreter look for the modules. If that module is not resides there, or Perl interpreter not find it while running that script, it will complain. Then you have to come down to this particular shell, which is cpan, aka Perl shell. If it is not there, you can easily install it, right? It's pretty standard and you don't have to struggle to find it out, and it's pretty standard for long time, not about today. So you can install those Perl module from here, okay, to get the stuff going. Okay, so this is what I wanted to show you about posting your WordPress blog directly from the command line without let me text.org. See, because I have posted it as a draft, you see this two line, let me highlight. So this is come back from the WordPress site and kind of acknowledgement that your post has been posted as a draft on this date, and this is a metadata spit out from the WordPress site once it is posted successfully there. Okay, this is a standard thing. So you'll get a stuff in your original file what you are posting on the top of it like this. Okay, so it signifies your post get through to WordPress. Okay, so this is very, although you could easily done the same thing if you are inclined enough, that I found it doing from the command line is very simple. So you could do the same if you go to the ex prompt and simply call up that I have it on my bin, publish blog to WordPress, and then the file, then this file name simply, and it'll do the same thing while running it from the command line, and you can do the same thing inside from Vim, right? If you are inclined to and use it. I'm showing this because I wrote that org file inside Vim. You can do, as I mentioned, I use Emacs as my blogging platform. It has got a tight integration with WordPress through Org2wp, where this author is getting inspiration to write this particular script. Okay, so you could do so this way also from inside Vim. So it doesn't matter. But if you write one last thing, publish blog, and if you do not give any argument and just simply press enter, see, it will show you the help which is coming out of the original script, and it will show you how you are supposed to use this script and with what argument, as well as everything else. Okay, this is very helpful, quick, fast, and very nifty. Okay, so I sometimes do, if I'm not sitting on inside Emacs, or I probably wrote something about the post, so I just take the org file and post it from my command line. Pretty simple, right? I hope it will be useful for some people who write blog to WordPress. So there, as I mentioned very beginning of this video, the crux of the matter is, I'm repeating again, you should not rely or depend on one single thing for important stuff. There should be a parallel mechanism. If something goes wrong, it's software, right? And in life too, most of the time, you have to have some fallback mechanism which will bail you out for the time being, if not permanently. So you'll get a time to regather and fix things up. So this is one of the this mechanism, this thought process could be applied to other software too and other operation too. Okay, so you can think of it as a template or as a way of seeing it. So I thought it will be useful for some people. Thanks for watching.